Jupiter Guru Maharaj is going to be retrograde Vakri for over 3 months from December 5th through March 10th. Retrograde planet means it wants to go within. It wants you to slow down. So the way to analyze retrograde planet is you look at the physically which house, which sign it's sitting in. So for all the 12 rising signs, you see where the sign of Gemini is. So for example, for Aries rising, Gemini is your third house. So Jupiter will slow down the impact or the results of the third house. At the same time, you see which are the houses that Jupiter rules. So Sagittarius and Pisces, what are those houses in your chart? So overall, for everybody though, this is a time for self-introspection, for figuring out what is our dharma. Jupiter represents our dharma. Jupiter is the guru, Jupiter is the Brihaspati, Jupiter is the rituals, Jupiter is the studying the scriptures. So that means this is a golden opportunity for all of us to go within, activate our dharma, find out what is our purpose, but do lots of spiritual work. Jupiter is a very traditional planet. You know, the guru Brihaspati always working on the traditional sadhana. So good time to do spiritual work externally and internally. You can join some courses also, spend time with your sangha, spend time at the temples, spend time learning the shastras or self-study, swadhyaya, and honoring the gurus. A retrograde planet wants you to pause, slow down, and internalize the energy of that planet. So everything that Jupiter Guru Maharaj stands for these 3 months, it's giving you opportunity to internalize that. So in other words, you can say, be your own guru also. You know, discover your skills and share those with everybody, but also learn some new skills and wisdom. It's a profound opportunity to honor everything that Jupiter stands for. And again, lots of mantras, chanting. That is the forte of Guru Maharaj. So pick any mantra that you resonate with and start chanting for these 3 months. You can chant the Guru mantras on my website. There is a section called Planetary Remedies, and check out the mantras that you resonate with. There are some YouTube links also. You can chant those more often during these 3 months. Also, we are starting live courses, beginners and advanced. You can check out on the website, courses.bharatashtraveda.com. And that's live courses with me. There'll be discussions and recordings available. And also there'll be a WhatsApp group. Fantastic opportunity to learn this ancient wisdom and help yourself help a lot of other people. First, Aries rising, Aries Lagna, Aries ascendant. First, let's understand what we're talking about. People have confusion about which sign retrograde. Jupiter will be retrograde in the sign of Gemini from December 5th this year, 2025, until March 10, 2026. It'll be retrograde in Gemini, so that is the third house for Aries rising, okay? Third house is Gemini, and Jupiter is going to go retrograde. That means it wants to go back and give you results of the previous sign, the previous house, that is Taurus, second house. It does not mean Jupiter is physically going there. So people again ask question on the chat, in the comments, how come Jupiter is in Taurus? Jupiter is not going to be physically in Taurus, but it wants to give you results of Taurus because it wants to go back. It's like some missed chance, second chance. It's giving you a second chance. So that's the energy. Now, inherently, what happens when a planet goes retrograde? It will give you results that are more internalized. So that means it wants you to contemplate. It wants you to slow down. It wants you to focus on the past rather than going 100 kilometers an hour full speed. So not going forward, but think through what you've been through and any missed opportunities, but also any things you want to correct or any past mistakes you want to correct. So that's the energy. So that's the energy for the third house for Aries rising. And also Jupiter is the ruler of your 9th house and your 12th house. So these 3 houses, you may feel certain setbacks or slowdowns or even some challenges, obstacles, but also there could be something from the past that you want to rectify or something you missed. So it's a time to contemplate. And now what are those areas? 3rd house, 9th house, 12th house. One is your connection with your younger siblings. You have to reevaluate. There may be changes, there may be setbacks. And then your communication, especially written communication, your marketing, sales, networking, all those things you have to reevaluate. A 3rd house is also the house of courage, and a retrograde planet there means during these 4 months, you may actually snap at people. Okay, so or 3 months actually. So you may have immediate reaction to challenges in your daily life. So you have to be careful not to be very reactive in your daily life. Very, very important. A retrograde planet, kind of, you can also think as it's not focusing on that house at all. It has all its focus on the previous house or the previous sign. Then ninth house means you may have some difficulties with your gurus or with your father. You may discover the things were not as they meant to be or as they appeared to be. So you may reevaluate your spiritual path. This is the time to go and sit and contemplate and focus on what is your dharma. That's the ninth house. What is your spiritual path? This is a golden chance actually to slow down and understand what is your purpose, why you're here. That is the question you should have for these 3 months. And then figure out who your true guru is. Maybe the guru is within. Maybe you don't need any external guru. So all those things will be on your mind. These 3 months, it's giving you a chance to slow down and not take things for granted. Basically, retrograde means it's like research. It's going in and asking you to further rectify anything or polish anything. And then the 12th house matters. Be careful traveling abroad or any long distance travel. Actually, 3rd house, 9th house, 12th house, all are related with travel. 3rd house is short distance, 9th house is long distance, 12th house is foreign travel. So it's very important. Aries rising people, be very careful while travel. Now, it's a good opportunity if you want to travel to some old places, let's say old temples or any sites like that, or visiting your old, ancestral home, things like that. So honor something from the past in your travels, but do not make plans to travel like 5 countries just to visit or a huge vacation or a cruise trip like that. So those things you got to be careful. Of course, you can do if you plan on, but just be careful. Then the 12th house is also the house of foreign projects, foreign people, foreign culture, all of that things. Those things there may be some secrets that may be revealed. Okay, so 12th house holds a lot of secrets also. And so things may become more clear regarding any of your foreign associations as well. But this is a good time again to go to an ashram, do some retreats. Very powerful. Now let's talk about the blessings. So Jupiter is going to retrograde. So the whole focus is to give you results of the 2nd house Taurus. So that means the 2nd house will have abundance, expansion, wisdom. So it's a good time to spend more, a quality time with your family. It is the Kutumbasthana. So your relations with your family will improve. Secondly, it is a good time to focus on your family wealth, on your accumulated resources. You will see better finances, more opportunities. Overall, how to make money or save money. Those things will be on your mind and you'll have more opportunities. This area will grow. Then it's a good period for speech. So be a speaker. Share your wisdom through your speech. Even if you're not a speaker, just, speaking, the act of speaking, even with your family or friends, will have a profound impact. So use your words wisely. They'll come from a very deep place. So you have the blessings of Guru Maharaj. It's like, sitting on your tongue. Then it's also connected with food. The 2nd house it relates to the food. So food means it's a good time to focus on your diet. And also if you're in the food industry, absolutely wonderful time. And also if you're in the finance industry, 2nd house relates to finances, banking sector, financial wealth, all those areas will flourish. So that's the overall impact or the results of this Jupiter retrograde. Retro is actually, you cannot ignore the results of a retrograde planet because it is astronomically, physically, it is closer to the Earth retrograde planet. So that there is much more impact. So that's for Aries rising, Aries Lagna. Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Gemini for almost over 3 months from December 5th through March 10th. In your 2nd house. For Taurus rising or Taurus Lagna, this is your 2nd house, Gemini. And so let's understand first what's happening on the chart. Retrograde Jupiter is physically sitting in your 2nd house. That is the sign of Gemini. But it's retrograde means it wants to give you results of your 1st house. So it's not physically going to your Lagna, but it just wants to give you results as if it's sitting in the 1st house. Secondly, Jupiter in your chart, Taurus rising, rules your 8th house and your 11th house. Now, these numbers in the chart, these are not houses, these are the sign numbers. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius. You see the word Sagittarius there, and the 8th house is also labeled. So 8th house and 11th house matters will undergo change because Jupiter rules these two houses in your chart, and the second house matters will undergo change. Now, a retrograde planet means it wants you to slow down. It wants you to internalize things related to that house, and there may be obstacles, challenges, and then there may be something from the past that may come back, or you may rectify, or like a missed opportunity. So it's a chance to contemplate, sit down, and analyze rather than going forward full speed. So, in other words, these houses may not give you very powerful results for future, but you may correct some things. There's some things may shift and you need to slow down. So what does that mean? Second house, 8th house, and 11th house. First of all, second house is Kutumbasthana. Jupiter is retrograde there. That means there may be some changes with your family dynamics. There may be challenges also. You got to be very careful dealing with your family during this time. And then there may be some issues from the past, especially there may be some inheritance related issues. And definitely there could be some money related issues because we're talking about both the 8th house and the 11th house. 8th house is inheritance, 11th house is money, finances. So those two houses, the ruler of those two houses is going retrograde in your second house that is affecting your family dynamics. So these 3 months, don't pick up any fights or any arguments with your family regarding finances. That's very, very important. Secondly, your own finances. The second house is your accumulated resources. So this is the 3 months that you want to evaluate your finances, your wealth, because there may be some challenges, ups and downs. So overall, for finances, this may not be a very good period. You may not see a lot of progress, but this is the time to do research, go within and contemplate what things you want to rectify or change regarding your finances, inheritance, and your family dynamics and your family wealth, accumulated wealth. Then also be very careful with your speech. Second, a retrograde planet sitting in the second house means there may be miscommunication or people may misinterpret what you speak. So be gentle with your speech, be truthful, and don't react. Do not, speak before you think. Very, very important for Taurus rising. Then second house is our speech also. So don't eat junk food. Pay attention to your diet. Don't ignore your diet, your food, the daily routine. So that's very, very important. So those things may suffer a little bit. And then 8th house is also deep research, esoteric stuff that we learn about ourselves, about the universe, our connection with the universe. In fact, retrograde phase of a planet is excellent for that kind of research going within. So these 3 months are really good for you to go deep into esoteric wisdom and maybe studying the Shastras, learning about yourself, who you are, your path, your purpose, your connection with the universe. And at the same time, the 11th house matters need to be reevaluated. You will be thinking about, am I making money the right way? Is it ethical? Is it moral? And also your actual way of earning may change. Like you may have different sources of earning. So you'll be doing a lot of soul searching in terms of your finances. Also, you may see that some of your friends may not be real, may not be true. So your friendships will undergo change. This is a process of cleansing. So you'll clean up anything that's not serving you. So any superficial friendships, those will dissolve. At the same time, 11th house is social media. So a retrograde planet, the 11th Lord goes retrograde. That means you want to withdraw a little bit, not like post every single thing about your life on the social media. Do post your wisdom, share your wisdom, but make sure that you're very careful in responding to people on social media or connect. So your whole network, your friends, your social media, all of that will undergo change. It's a time to reevaluate what's true out there, how you want to go out and connect with people. So, and then also this will internalize your desires. You will have more sattvic and dharmic desires. A retrograde 11th Lord will, and especially that being Jupiter, will force you to have very holistic desires. Any superficial or excessive desires will drop away during these 3 months of retrograde phase. Now, which area will blossom? So your first house will have the blessings of the Guru Maharaj, because physically it's sitting in your second house, but it wants to give you results as if it's going or sitting in your first house. So Guru Maharaj sitting on your Lagna, you'll have wisdom. You'll gain wisdom during this phase. You will have protection of the gurus. You will also have interest in the shastras, in the rituals, reading the scriptures, and also going to the temple. So literally association of the gurus and religious places, those are a good remedy, good recommendation for you to these 3 months to be more aware of your spiritual dharma, your gurus, your path, and also your personality will develop. You'll have expanded consciousness and you'll gain more wisdom. So those are the blessings of the Guru Maharaj looking at your first house. Wants to go back to your first house, giving you some missed opportunities from the past and some new opportunities. So this is the time to focus, going forward with your first house matters, but then contemplating and slowing down for your second house, eighth house, and 11th house matters. So that's Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Gemini for Taurus rising. Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th for Gemini rising, Gemini Lagna. So a huge shift for you. Very powerful. This is a period of contemplation. See, so let's understand a retrograde planet means it wants to go back and give you results of the previous sign in the previous house. But the matters of the house where it's physically sitting, that is your Lagna, those may undergo shift. There may be slowdown and contemplation regarding that house. So your first house will be impacted. So you got to be careful. We'll discuss what things you should do. And your seventh house, Jupiter is your seventh lord and your 10th lord. So those houses, those areas of life may have challenges, obstacles. You may need to slow down, contemplate, do research, go to the past, understand what things work, what don't work. So what all this means, first of all, your relationships, you may have to reevaluate all your one-on-one partnerships. That includes your business partnership and your personal partnerships. The superficial partnerships may drop and you will discover really like the soul level partnerships. Same thing with the 10th house. 10th house is your career, your business. You may not see huge positive results or, it's not about planning the future. It's about reevaluating what's working and what's not working. So essentially your 10th house, the career, you may see setbacks or slow down, and you may undergo certain changes in your business, in your profession, in your career. Same thing with your connection with your managers, with your bosses, with your superiors. So those areas will be impacted. So you got to be careful. Just be more mindful at works, and you may even shift your career, change jobs. Those things might be possible. Now, again, you have to look at the natal chart also to confirm. And then your first house, that means your whole personality. First house is your being, who you are. That's going to shift. You'll have a huge transformation in who you are, discovering yourself, your personality, and also your immunity, your health, overall health we see from the first house also. So these 3 months, take extra care of your health, take extra care of yourself. This is a time for introspection, going within. This is not a time to go out and do 100 things. This is a time to slow down and focus on your being, who you are. That's your first house. Now, at the same time, Jupiter is retrograde. So that means it wants to give you blessings of the previous sign. So the 12th house is fully activated. It's a very interesting combination where you may feel that the things are slowing down overall. All your life, all the areas of your life may be slowing down because the first house has a retrograde planet. But then it's giving you results of the 12th house. That means it's a time to go within. First of all, let go of your ego. It's a time to discover the secrets of the other worlds. That's the 12th house. Do lots of meditation. Go, literally, if you can go to a retreat, this is the perfect time. A retrograde planet in the first house is activating both your first house and your 12th house. Spend time alone. Do lots of contemplation. Go to an ashram. And also, this is the time actually you will meet or come across a lot of people from the past, or even your ancestors may show up, or you will have visitation from beings from other planes of existence. So do lots of these esoteric stuff. I always say 12th house means past life regression, astral travel, hypnotherapy, yoga nidra. All these things are Jupiter Guru Maharaj is giving you these wonderful opportunity. Portals are opening these 3 months to focus on deep spiritual awakening. 12th house is the house of moksha. literally it's giving you a chance for liberation, so to speak. So also foreign travel, foreign contacts, foreign projects, all those things are going to blossom. So a lot of opportunities in that area. So focus on outside things, foreign things, and beyond that also, like other planes of existence. So deep spiritual work and actually visiting temples in a foreign country. That's going to be fantastic. Or doing spiritual work in a foreign country. So those things will blossom. So those are some of the huge blessings that you will discover. And also your investments, those may give you good results, although this is not financial advice. But 12th house matters will be, so also it may reveal some secrets. 12th house holds a lot of secrets. So secrets about yourself, about other people. So a lot of your blind spots will actually be eliminated. So they will be removed. You'll have clarity and direction in a lot of areas which were not clear earlier. So you'll have a lot of clarity, especially related to your relationships and your work, your profession, and about yourself. That is the first house. So that's for Gemini, rising Gemini Lagna. Jupiter Guru Maharaj retrograde, Vakri, in the sign of Gemini from December 5th until March 10th. And we are discussing Cancer rising or Cancer Lagna or Cancer ascendant. So first let's discuss astronomical. So from the chart perspective, what's going on? So this is the chart for Cancer rising, number 4 sign you see in the middle. And Jupiter is retrograde in your 12th house. So the sign of Gemini, that's there in the 12th house. And so when a planet is retrograde, it wants to give you results of the previous sign or the previous house. So on your screen where it says 11th house, that's a sign of Taurus. So 11th house, you will see blossom. You'll have more opportunities and expansion for your 11th house matters. We'll discuss what that means. But also your 12th house will undergo a shift. There may be slowdown, there may be obstacles, there may be challenges related to the 12th house. At the same time, Jupiter is the ruler of your 6th house and your 9th house. So where you say 6th house, it says Sagittarius, number 9. That's one. And then you see 9th house, it says Pisces, number 12. So those are the two houses that Jupiter rules. So you may undergo certain changes, obstacles, challenges related to your 6th house, related to your 9th house, and related to your 12th house. So let's discuss what all that means. First of all, this is a period to go and evaluate your health. Go within and try to focus on your health. 6th house is your health, your healing, and a retrograde, a lot of that is retrograde. That means it is telling you to pause, to slow down, and then go within and evaluate, contemplate, focus, and see what's working, what's not working for your health. It's giving you a second chance to really understand, correct any past mistakes or any missed opportunities also. So focus on your health, take care of your health, develop a new health routine. That's the 6th house. 6th house is also our enemies and obstacles, challenges in general. A retrograde lot of that means some things from the past, some problems, troubles, issues from the past may surface again. It is a good thing so that you can clear it. So the karmic debt can be cleared. But don't be surprised if some things from the past come back again and you have to deal with that, which is okay. So, but focus on, but don't deal with your obstacles, challenges with force. Deal with them through your wisdom and slow down and take your time to evaluate what's going on in terms of those 6th house matters. 6th house is also house of serving other people. So this is a good time to really do a lot of spiritual work that helps other people. Okay. 6th house is also your job, profession, the work that we do for other people. So you may literally change your job. You may undergo a shift in your role, in your career. You may undergo a change in the way you deal with your colleagues. So this is the time to contemplate, to slow down. There may be a change, transformation, a shift in your job, in your profession. Same thing with your 9th house. You may undergo a change in your dharma, in your spiritual path, in your connection with your gurus. You may see setbacks or some connections may dissolve that are not serving you, but there'll be a lot of soul searching in terms of what is my path, what is my dharma, what is my spiritual path. Also, this is the time to reevaluate if you want to do higher studies, PhD or any higher studies programs. You may have to reevaluate your path forward. Now, 12th house is also the house of foreign places, foreign countries. And ninth house is long distance. So the long distance as well as foreign travel, those you need to be careful. Think if you really need to travel these 3 months, avoid travel if you can. But if it's for spiritual purposes or going to temples or some old sites, then it's okay. But still, of course, you cannot avoid. If you have to travel, you travel. That's fine. But just take care, do some remedies, rituals, mantras, all that Jupiter stuff. Share your wisdom, learn some spiritual stuff at the same time. So those ninth house matters, sixth house matters, and the 12th house matters. So dealing with the foreigners, you may discover this period will give you some insights. You may discover some secrets about people from foreign country, from foreign culture, and anything related to your ancestors also. You may discover some things. Some things will be made clear that weren't clear. So that's all 12th house. But then the real blessings are for your 11th house. So that is the house that will blossom, that will expand. So one is your income. You will see expansion in your income during this period, or at least there will be some opportunities coming your way. Secondly, this is a good period to go out and spend time with your friends. That's 11th house. This is a good period to be on social media. Share your wisdom on social media. Develop huge network. And so if you are a YouTuber, or if you do anything on social media like that, this is the perfect time to develop networks, to have these partnerships with people, but also just go out and share your wisdom. That's all 11th house. And also your connection with your older siblings may improve. And from your perspective, you can reach out and just a lot of networking with your older siblings, with people on social media or with the friend circle. And a lot of your desires may actually get fulfilled. That's the blessings of Guru Maharaj wants, giving you results of the 11th house. That is the sign of Taurus. So that's what's happening for Cancer rising, Cancer Lagna, Cancer ascendant. Jupiter Guru Maharaj going retrograde Vakri in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. And we're talking about the Leo rising or Leo Lagna, Leo ascendant, Lagna. As you can see in the chart, so number 5 is Leo, and that is the first house. That's the rising sign. So for Leo rising, Jupiter is transiting through your 11th house and it's going retrograde. So let's understand what that means first. A retrograde planet wants to give you results as if it's sitting in the previous sign, previous house. So while Jupiter is physically sitting in your 11th house, but it wants to give you results of the 10th house. So the 10th house will see all the blessings. But then 11th house, things may slow down. And also Jupiter rules 5th house and the 8th house in your chart. So in this picture, you can see it's labeled 5th house, that is number 9 sign Sagittarius, and 8th house, that is the number 12 sign Pisces. So Jupiter rules your 5th house and 8th house and sitting in the 11th house. So the 5th house, 8th house, and 11th house matters may slow down. That means there may be some challenges dealing with your children, or in their life, they may have something to reevaluate. There may be some change, transformation, obstacles related to children, and also related to your romantic relationship. If you are in a romantic relationship, so this is the time to reevaluate. This is also a period when you may see somebody from the past. They may surface again in your life in terms of romantic connections. And also time to reevaluate your investments, stock market investments, speculative investments, although this is not financial advice. And then, but this is a good time to be very, very creative, because a retrograde, Lord of the 5th house, when it goes retrograde, it internalizes all your creative juices. So it is actually giving you intuition. And so you can give birth, you can create a lot of amazing things during these 3 months, at least get started. So anything, any creativity, any skills you have, or simply start journaling, start writing down. And a good remedy is mantras. 5th house is mantra shastra, and the retrograde planet, especially being Jupiter, means you want to chant a lot of mantras, and especially silently. Mon japa is very, very powerful remedy when the 5th lord Jupiter goes retrograde for Leo rising. Then we have the 8th house going retrograde, the 8th lord. So there may be some reversal or some changes or setbacks or obstacles when it comes to inheritance or money from other people. And then this is a good time to go very deep in your spiritual sadhana, because retrograde planet wants you to go within, and 8th house is anyway all the deep secrets of the universe, your connection with the universe. So it's an excellent period, 3 months, to study some shastra, study with the gurus, Go very deep and understand what is your purpose, who you are and why you're here, and your connection, your place, your role in the universe. That's the eighth house going retrograde, especially in the 11th house. 11th house is all about gains. Now, 11th house matters will also undergo a shift. So that means this is, you may have some challenges with your friends. Some friendships may dissolve. You may have challenges on social media. Be very careful on social media. You may have challenges with your older siblings and also in your income. So you may see there may be a slowdown or contraction in your finances, income, but this is a time to solidify, consolidate your career, because Jupiter is retrograde, so wants to give you results of the 10th house. That is a sign of Taurus. So you may actually get a lot of business opportunities, maybe a new job, new opportunities, new projects. Those may not translate immediately to money, to finances, improvement in finance, but this is like long-term opportunities will come your way. So you may actually change your job. You may change the way you make money. That is 11th house planet retrograde. But focus on your career. Long-term career opportunities will be there. You'll get more recognition. You'll have more connection and better connection with your superiors, with your bosses, with the managers, and with the authorities also, government authorities like that. So improve your, so even though you may feel that, you're not getting immediate results, you're working, but this is a time to consolidate, to focus on your long-term strategy and develop your network, expand your network, and think of big projects, big ideas when it comes to work. So that's the blessings of Guru Maharaj going Vakri. So it's activating your 10th house. It's having a drishti on your 10th house being retrograde. So it'll activate your career, your profession, your business. But be careful with regards to the 5th house and the 8th house and 11th house matters. Jupiter Guru Maharaj is going Vakri, going retrograde in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. And we're talking about the Virgo rising or Virgo Lagna or Virgo ascendant. So in the chart here, let's explain what's happening, which houses are getting activated. As you see, number 6 sign, that is Virgo. In the middle, that's your rising sign. And Jupiter Guru Maharaj is sitting in your 10th house. It's transiting through your 10th house. And number 3 sign, that is Gemini. A retrograde planet wants to give you results of the previous house or the previous sign. So Jupiter Guru Maharaj is activating your 9th house. That is a sign of Taurus. But also in your chart, Jupiter rules the 4th house and Jupiter rules the 7th house. So Jupiter is the 4th lord. That's a sign of Sagittarius. You can see that in the chart. And Jupiter is your 7th lord. That is a sign of Pisces. Now, what does all this mean practically? This is all astrology language, but in the real world, so practically speaking, what does that mean? First of all, this period is these 3 months. Will give you a chance to reevaluate your career, to maybe make some shift, make some changes in your profession, in your projects, in your business. Okay, so some things may shift. In fact, this is a good time to contemplate and see if you're on the right path, or maybe some missed opportunities from the past. So those, or people from the past may surface, or some opportunities like, some roles or some kind of business opportunity, some projects that you ignored earlier, those may come back again. But overall, this is a time to slow down, not to make futuristic plans with respect to your career, but reevaluate, go within and contemplate. Then it is also the 4th lord, 7th lord getting retrograde means this may impact your home environment. You may feel uneasy. You may feel like making changes, but it's a good time to do a lot of spiritual work at home in your place of residence instead of going out to the temple. And so, in fact, going to the temple will also be good for you because Jupiter is having a drishti on your 9th house. So the 9th house is getting activated, but at home also, you want to have very pious environment, very spiritual kind of environment. You can invite people for discussions, for spiritual work, for meditation. That's a good remedy for the retrograde 4th lord. Your connection with your mother may undergo changes. There may be challenges, obstacles, and also real estate matters may undergo change. You may actually dispose of some old things. So that's a good period for that. But overall, not a great time period to buy lots of new real estate and things like that. Again, this is not real estate advice. This is not financial advice. This is just energies of the planets. Now, same thing with the seventh house. Seventh Lord is going retrograde. That means your relationships may undergo a change. And there may be a shift in your perspective. Also, a lot for some people, this may be a time to change your relationship. You may end one relationship and then, have a new relationship. So this is a time to contemplate, to reevaluate people who are very important in your life, all one-on-one partnerships, both your personal as well as business partnerships. Those may undergo a change, a transformation. That's the meaning of a retrograde planet. And also not a good time to develop like huge, big, futuristic partnerships, but just contemplate and focus on what's there already, what's working, what's not working. And you can do spiritual work with your partner. And that's a good remedy. And our same thing with the 10th house. So 10th house, a lot of change, transformation in your career, some good opportunities. Jupiter is giving you a second chance to slow down and figure out what's working, what's not working. Now, the area that will blossom and give you huge results is the 9th house, because Jupiter retrograde wants to give you results of the 9th house. That means your connection with your gurus will improve. You may meet some new gurus, or you may yourself become a guru. Or if you already share your wisdom, you really, really need to go out and do lots of spiritual work, share your wisdom. Even if you're not a spiritual guru, let's say you're a consultant, or even if you're not a consultant technically, you may have some sort of wisdom. Everybody has some sort of wisdom. This is the time to rise and shine and share your wisdom, however small that may be. You never know. Even one sentence, even few words that you say may change somebody's life. So focus on being a guru and sharing your wisdom. Secondly, it'll also clarify your path, your spiritual path, your whole dharma. Who am I? My purpose. This retrograde phase will clarify your purpose, your dharma. Your 9th house is completely activated, especially by Jupiter. Okay. And also association with your Sangha. So spend a lot of time with your spiritual brothers and sisters. A good time for long distance travel also, especially for spiritual purposes, for pilgrimage. And then also 9th house is higher studies. So if you've been thinking of higher studies, this is an excellent time for that. But also learning wisdom, reading the scriptures, the shastras, doing lots of rituals. Those are excellent remedies and excellent things. It's like a second chance, missed opportunity that Jupiter is giving you related to your 9th house matters. So that's how you analyze, evaluate retrograde transiting planet. Of course, you want to superimpose on your natal chart to see the full results, and also watch the other videos, which is how Rahu is doing, what Ketu is doing in the transit, what Saturn is doing, and then combine all of those, because every planet affects different houses in your chart. Every planet rules different houses. So you want to combine all of this, then get the full picture. So that's what's happening for Virgo rising, Virgo Lagna, Virgo ascendant during these 3 months when Jupiter Guru Maharaj is going retrograde. Jupiter Guru Maharaj going retrograde, Vakri, in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. And we're talking about Libra rising, Libra Lagna, Libra ascendant. So that's the number 7 sign that you see in the chart right in the middle. So that's the first house, that's your Lagna. And Jupiter Guru Maharaj is transiting through your 9th house, that's the sign of Gemini. What does that mean? A retrograde planet wants to give you results of the previous sign or the previous house. So it's activating your 8th house. It's not physically going or sitting in your 8th house. People write that in a lot of comments that, hey, how come for Libra rising, what's happening in the 8th house? No, it's not. We're not saying Jupiter is physically going to your 8th house. Jupiter is activating your 8th house because it is retrograde. At the same time, your 3rd house is ruled by Jupiter. That's a sign of Sagittarius. And also Jupiter rules your 6th house. That's a sign of Pisces. So those houses will undergo a change, a shift, a transformation. So the things related to your 3rd house and your 6th house and your 9th house, those may slow down. You may face obstacles, challenges. Some things from the past may surface again, but the things related to the 8th house will flourish. So what does that mean? First of all, you got to be very careful about your written communication. There could be a misunderstanding. There could be misinterpretation of what you write. So your written communication, your newsletters or your emails or anything you write is going to be very critical. So you have to be very careful in your written communication. And that also includes like marketing and sales. Second is dealing your short distance travels. Be careful, like you're within the city, short distance travels. You may have challenges, obstacles, traffic jam or this and that. Frustration may be there. And also meeting people. You may have just your meetings may not go well, or not so fruitful, or just you feel like you're wasting time going around meeting people. That kind of energy might be there. You just need to slow down and reevaluate. Then, but this is a good time to learn some things with your hands. Any skills with your hands you already have, like playing guitar or anything, or healing. Great for healing work. But also your connection with your younger siblings may undergo a shift, a change. And then your sixth house matters. So this is the time to reevaluate your health routine. Some things may not be working. You may need to reinvent or change your health routine. Secondly, there may be a change in your job, literally in your profession, or the way you work, or the role. You may change your actual work that you do. That's your sixth house. So this is a time to contemplate. So if your job is shaky, or there are challenges at workplace, so just be careful. These 3 months are crucial. They're critical. Just hang in there. And then sixth house is also our enemy. So literally, you may see that some enemies or challenges, obstacles from the past, they are surfacing again. So which means that this is giving you opportunity to get rid of that karma once and for all. So that karmic debt will be paid off. So just deal with the obstacles, challenges, enemies in a wise manner, using your wisdom, that is Jupiter, not with force, not with the Martian energy. So just be more mindful, be very, stable and calm, and deal with any of the obstacles, challenges that are coming back from the past. So that's all the sixth house matters. And then, of course, the ninth house retrograde means it is a time to reevaluate your dharma. You may feel some challenges with your gurus, with your sangha, also maybe some obstacles in your higher studies. So this is a time to giving you a second chance to evaluate what's your purpose, what's your dharma, who are your true spiritual friends. It's a good time to give donation to the temples, and literally going to the temples and sitting in a temple will actually clear a lot of karma. That's the ninth house. At the same time, there are huge blessings related to your eighth house. You may literally get some inheritance. You may get money from other people, shared resources, or from your spouse. Also, Jupiter having a drishti, like giving you results of the eighth house, will activate all your esoteric wisdom. So this is a good time, 3 months, to go very deep in learning some deep esoteric stuff. Join some courses, or get some healing sessions with somebody. This is a Jupiter Guru Maharaj will help you understand who you are, your connection with the universe, and why you're here. But this will come after a lot of change and transformation. So see, your ninth house has a retrograde planet, and it's going back to your eighth house, meaning overall spiritual transformation. It will give you true meaning of your existence, who you are and why you're here. But it will not come easy, and it will also involve a lot of change, transformation, maybe obstacles on your spiritual path. So you have to be patient and just make sure you are clear as to who is the real guru and who is not. So your connection with the gurus may shift quite a bit. So this is a very spiritual, profound awakening. These 3 months, go within and slow down on the matters related to the third house, sixth house, and ninth house. Jupiter Guru Maharaj is going Vakri, retrograde, in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. So let's understand what that means. And this is for Scorpio rising, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio ascendant. And that's based on the Vedic, the sidereal zodiac. So we're not talking about the moon sign or the sun sign. We're talking about the Lagna, that's the rising sign, that's the ascendant. That's the first house. So your first house is Scorpio. Now, Jupiter Guru Maharaj is going to be Vakri, retrograde, in your eighth house. So physically, it is transiting through your eighth house. But a retrograde planet wants to give you results of the previous house or the previous sign. So physically, it's sitting in the eighth house. As you can see here in the chart, it is labeled as eighth house. That's a sign of Gemini. But your seventh house will blossom. Seventh house will have the blessings of the Guru Maharaj. So we'll discuss what that means. At the same time, the eighth house matters will be paused. You may have challenges, difficulties, obstacles related to the eighth house matters. At the same time, and we'll discuss what those are. At the same time, Jupiter rules your second house and your fifth house. Jupiter is the ruler of sign of Sagittarius, that's your second house, and Jupiter rules sign of Pisces, That is your fifth house. So the second lord and the fifth lord is going retrograde physically in your eighth house. What does that mean? So first of all, there may be some challenges, things related to your family. Second house is your kutumbasthana. You may have differences, especially it's sitting in the eighth house retrograde also. So there could be, specifically, there could be some challenges related to inheritance. There may be some challenges, conflicts related to family wealth. So be careful. Don't get into any arguments or any big issues or disputes related to your family wealth or inheritance. Take it very easy and don't react. And with your family in general, your connection with them may suffer or may undergo a huge change and transformation. Secondly, your own wealth, your own accumulated wealth, that is the second house, that may undergo a change. You may have different ideas. You may make some shifts and changes in your finances in a big way. Then second house is also your speech. Be very careful with your words. Your words may be misinterpreted. There may be misinformation. So, and also do not speak too soon. Do not speak without thinking, but use your words very wisely. Speak less if possible. Speak only when required. That's the retrograde second lord may give challenges, may give you difficult, you may end up in difficult situation because of your speech. Then second house is also your food. So do not ignore your diet, your food during these 3 months. You may have tendency to not eat at the right time, not eat proper food. Try not to do that. Then fifth house is your children. So there may be some challenges related to your children. There may be some secrets that may be revealed with respect to your children. And same thing with your romantic partner. So you may discover, or there may be dissolution, like you may actually end one romantic partnership, and if it's not serving you. So there'll be a lot of soul searching. There'll be a lot of contemplation going within. Is this connection, is this relationship helping me or not? And then also fifth house is your creativity. So this is a great opportunity to create something. See, people say, oh, I'm not a creator. I'm not a very creative person. Everybody can create something. Everybody can give birth to ideas or things, or even helping people like that. Helping your children. This is a great time to help your children. They may actually give birth to some creative ideas, creative projects, and literally giving birth also, that's possibility. But this is the time to reevaluate your potential going within. A lot of meditation, contemplation. Perfect remedy is to do lots of mantras. Fifth house is mantra shastra. So fifth lord going retrograde in the eighth house means deep, deep esoteric mantras, even going deep into the tantric wisdom. That is the retrograde Jupiter in the eighth house. It's telling you, hey, this is the time to go very deep. Do a lot of research. Eighth house is research. And on the material side, there could be challenges related to your inheritance. There may be obstacles. You were thinking, oh, I'm going to get a huge inheritance next month, but all of a sudden there are some obstacles. So you may see that kind of issues during these 3 months. But it's excellent for spiritual deep dive. Join some courses, learn from the gurus, get some energy healing sessions. Eighth house is completely taking you within. So it's not like giving you full force futuristic results. It's asking you to contemplate, to reevaluate, go within, and deep secrets of the universe will be revealed. Now, at the same time, you'll have huge blessings of the seventh house, because Jupiter wants to give you results of the seventh house, the previous sign. So it's not physically sitting in the seventh house. Again, don't confuse. We're not saying Jupiter is going to be physically sitting in your seventh house. We're saying it wants to give you results of the seventh house. So that means it will be a good period for your partnerships. If you're looking to get married, long-term partnership, this is a good period for that. You may meet people. If you're already in a partnership, if you're already married, this may blossom your connection. It'll bring more spiritual energy in your connection. Also, this is a good time to focus on developing big one-on-one partnerships, business partnerships also. So talk to people, get into lots of big partnerships. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just energy of the planets. But the seventh house activation by Jupiter means do a lot of spiritual work with your partner. Or if you're single, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have a partner and I'm not interested. If you're single, this is excellent to develop connection with God. That's the highest partnership, right? So your love, your devotion, your partnership with God will blossom during this phase. So that's the highest blessing. So these are the impacts of retrograde Jupiter in your eighth house for Scorpio rising. look at the other transits also, what Rahu is doing, what's happening with Saturn, and then combine all those results, plus put it on top of your natal chart. So that's for Scorpio rising. We have Jupiter, Guru Maharaj, going retrograde, Vakri, in the sign of Gemini. And this is for Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius Lagna, Sagittarius Ascendant. Sagittarius is the ninth sign. So as you can see in the chart, number 9, right in the middle in the top, that is your first house, that is your Lagna. So for Sagittarius Lagna, Jupiter, Guru Maharaj, is going through your 7th house, transiting in the sign of Gemini. It's retrograde for these 3 months. That means it wants to give you results of the previous sign or the previous house, that is the sign of Taurus. That's your 6th house. So we're not saying Jupiter is physically going to your 6th house. Jupiter is still physically transiting through your 7th house, but it has drishti on your 6th house. It wants to give you blessings and results and expansion of your 6th house. So we'll discuss what that means. Also, Jupiter is your Lagna Lord and Jupiter is your 10th Lord. So this is a big transformation happening for you, for Sagittarius. What does that mean? So the Lagna Lord and the 10th Lord, sorry, not the 10th Lord. Jupiter is your 4th Lord. So Jupiter is your Lagna Lord and Jupiter is your 4th Lord. So these houses will undergo a big shift, a big change. You may literally change your residence during this phase. Again, this is not real estate advice, but you may feel uneasy in your place of residence. You may feel like making some changes. And then also your connection with your mother may undergo some change. There may be challenges, obstacles with your mother. And then also your own self, you will rediscover yourself. The Lord going retrograde means it's giving you a chance to reinvent yourself, discover who you are, your personality, and also it's a time to focus on your health. First house overall represents our physical body. So it's a time to go within, heal yourself, go, really understand your body and improve your immunity, improve your personality overall. So it's giving you a chance to let go of any superficial stuff that you are not. So be very real, be very truthful to yourself and to other people. This is a golden chance for that. Now, because Jupiter is retrograde, so your 6th house is getting activated. So I want to combine these. The first Lord is retrograde and the 6th house activated. That means it's a powerful time to heal yourself, literally. 6th house is the house for health. And Jupiter Guru Maharaj is giving you all the wisdom, all the expansion, all the blessings to improve your health. So set up a new health routine. Or if you already have, this period will help you follow your health routine and focus on healing yourself. In the process of healing yourself, you'll actually reinvent yourself. You'll come out as a new person after this retrograde transit. Secondly, this is also a good period to deal with any obstacles, challenges, enemies that's ruled by 6th house through your wisdom, not with force, not as a Martian energy, but this is a golden opportunity to take care of any challenges, obstacles, external enemies, legal issues, all of that through your wisdom. Then it will also give you a chance, better opportunities in your work, in your profession. That's the 6th house is your job. So you get a promotion, you may get more recognition from your superiors, from other people. And from your perspective, you can actually act as a mentor, share your wisdom with other people at work. So I'm talking about the profession. Now, 6th house is also a house for volunteer work. So there's a good opportunity to help other people in general. So for seva, for helping other people through your wisdom, this is a fantastic opportunity. Now, it's going to be retrograde sitting in the 7th house. So that means your relationships may suffer a little bit. They may undergo a shift, a change, a transformation. If they are based on a solid spiritual foundation, then they will blossom. This is a good opportunity. It's telling you to go within as a couple, if you're already in a relationship, and focus on spiritual things together. You may, in fact, end one relationship. It's possibility. And of course, you have to look at your chart. But this is not the time to avoid getting into any new long-term relationships. This is not the right time. Or at least you have to really evaluate everything. You have to really research and don't just jump into new relationships very immediate, like too soon. Take your time. And so the relationships also include like one-on-one partnerships for your business. So your business partnerships, you may need to reevaluate and see what's going on. So basically all your, the pillars, the first house, the fourth house, the 7th house, Those houses you may see challenges, change, transformation, obstacles. That includes environment at your home. You may feel uneasy in your home. All that fourth house matters. But the sixth house will blossom. So it's a good opportunity to seek the blessings, do lots of mantras, guru mantras, honor the gurus so that you have better, results for your sixth house. So that's for the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter Guru Maharaj going Vakri, retrograde in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. And we're talking about Capricorn rising, Capricorn Lagna, Capricorn ascendant. So in the chart, in this picture, as you can see, number 10 is Capricorn. Number 10 sign is Capricorn. That's the first house right in the middle, in the top. So that's your Lagna. So Guru Maharaj is Vakri, retrograde in your sixth house. So Gemini is your sixth house for Capricorn rising. And so retrograde planet means it wants to give you results of the previous house or the previous sign. Okay. But there may be slowdown, challenges, obstacles related to the house it is sitting in. So we're not, so physically, Jupiter is retrograde in your sixth house, but energetically, it wants to give you results of the fifth house. So we'll discuss all of that. Now, Jupiter also is your 12th lord and your third lord. So Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius, which is your 12th house, and Jupiter rules the sign of Pisces, which is your third house. So the third lord and the 12th lord going retrograde in the sixth house. So these three houses may suffer a little bit. You may see slowdown, you may see challenges, you may see obstacles, or you may see just change and transformation in these houses. And your fifth house will blossom. So that's where you'll see the blessings. So third house means be careful in all your written communication, your newsletters or emails, anything written communication has to be very, very careful, and do not respond to people prematurely. Think if you receive an email, sit on it, think about the consequence, think about the results, and then respond. Very, very important. Third lord going retrograde in the sixth house means you may pick up enemies just because of your written communication. So that's very important. Then also your short distance travels, you may feel frustration, or you may feel like you're wasting time, going meeting people, this and that. So that you may want to reevaluate and see. Also, because Jupiter is your 12th lord, that is foreign travel. So travel overall, be careful and see if it's really needed, if you want to travel or not. And that's 12th house. Beyond the foreign travel, it also includes like astral travel, connection with the ancestors. So those things will flourish. Okay. So anything beyond, like you should do lots of past life regression, astral travel, or hypnotherapy, those, and also go to an ashram, literally. Do lots of meditation, isolation, seclusion, and just being yourself, by yourself. That's the excellent opportunity. The 12th lord going retrograde is literally taking you within, awakening your subconscious mind and awakening your connection with your ancestors. Do tarpan, do yoga nidra, lucid dreaming, those things. And this will reveal a lot of secrets to you. 12th house holds a lot of secrets. That planet is going retrograde within. So it's going to give you a lot of these insights into things that were kind of like blind spots for you so far. Okay. Now, same thing with your sixth house. You may undergo a change in your job, literally, or change in your role in your company. And this may also cause some challenges, obstacles in your job. You may see all of a sudden somebody else is taking credit for your work. So those kinds of issues may surface. You just need to be patient and do not react. And also any challenges, obstacles, you got to deal with them through your wisdom. That's the retrograde planet sitting in the sixth house. And then this is not a good period for taking loans. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just energies of the planets. Now, the real blessings you'll see is all in your fifth house, because Jupiter has drishti. It wants to give you results of the fifth house. So that means this will be a good period for your children. They may do some creative work. There may be some expansion in your children's life. Also, this is a good period for your romantic connections. If you're looking to have a romantic partner, you may find opportunities during this phase. If you already are in a romantic relation, this will blossom. This will give expansion. This will give more spiritual foundation to your romantic partnerships. But one big theme is that these 3 months, do lots of creative work. That's the fifth house. Do lots of chanting of the mantras. Fifth house is the mantra shastra. So Jupiter is literally telling you, and Jupiter is the planet for mantra shastra, is the guru, the Brihaspati. So do lots of rituals and mantras, chanting, and focus on your students, your disciples, and your children. And fifth house is also speculative investment, stock market. You may see more success, better opportunities, but again, this is not financial advice. So the real blessings are all focused on the fifth house, but there may be challenges, slow down or change or transformation related to your third house, your sixth house, and your 12th house. So that's for Capricorn rising, Capricorn Lagna, Capricorn ascendant. Jupiter Guru Maharaj going Vakri retrograde in the sign of Gemini from December 5th through March 10th. What does that mean? And this is for Aquarius rising, Aquarius Lagna, Aquarius ascendant. We're not talking about the moon sign. We're not talking about the sun sign. We're talking about your first house being Aquarius. First house, it's labeled here. That is number 11 sign. That is the sign of Aquarius. So if you have number 11 in the first house there, that means you're Aquarius rising. And this is based on Vedic zodiac. This is the sidereal zodiac. This is not the Western tropical zodiac. So Jupiter retrograde in Gemini means it is transiting through your fifth house. Now, a retrograde planet wants to give you results of the previous sign, the previous house. Physically, it is sitting in your fifth house, but it wants to activate and give you blessings of your fourth house. So we'll discuss what all that means. And at the same time, Jupiter is your 11th lord and it is your second lord. 11th house, as you can see here in the picture, is the sign of Sagittarius. That's ruled by Jupiter. And your second house, that's the sign of Pisces. That's also ruled by Jupiter. So your second lord and your 11th lord, that planet is going retrograde, physically transiting through your fifth house. So in a nutshell, your second house, 11th house, and fifth house matters may suffer. You may face obstacles and challenges. You may need to slow down. You may need to reevaluate. There may be change and transformation. There may be like you have to reevaluate things related to these houses. So what are these houses? Second house is your Kutumbasthana. So your connection with your family may undergo a change. There may be challenges, obstacles with your family. Second house is also your family wealth, your accumulated resources. There may be setback or there may be a reevaluation or change in the way you manage your finances. Second house is your speech. Be very careful with your words. Your words may be misinterpreted. A retrograde planet means it wants to go within, but it doesn't care about external things. So you may speak too soon. You may speak without thinking through the consequences. So don't do that. Be very careful with your speech. You may ignore your food, your diet. That's your second house. That's the retrograde. A second lord means you may eat junk food or too much food or emotional eating or not eating at the right time. So those things may impact your health in general. That's the second lord going retrograde. Then 11th lord going retrograde. You may have challenges with your friends. Some friendships may dissolve. You may have challenges on the social media. You may have challenges with your network. So all those things will be recalibrated, will be reevaluated. This is the period to figure out who is your true friend and what's there on the social media and all your network. Then 11th house is also your income. You may reevaluate your sources of income. You may literally change the way you make money. 11th house is also your desires. So all the superficial desires will dissolve. All the excessive desires will dissolve. You'll really focus on what really you need, not what you want. That's the 11th lord going retrograde. Now, fifth house so Jupiter is sitting literally in the fifth house. That means your connection with your children may undergo a change, a shift. You may reevaluate. You may really contemplate like what's working, what's not working. Same thing with your romantic partnership. That may change. You may dissolve. You may end your romantic relationship. If it's not working, if it's not serving you. So this is the time to contemplate. There may be challenges also, obstacles in your romantic relationship. And definitely not a good time to get into a new romantic relationship. If you're looking for one, probably better to wait a few months until March 10. Of course, you have to look at the natal chart also. And then also not a great period for speculative investment, for stock market. You may face setbacks and challenges. But of course, this is not financial advice. This is just energies of the planets. But this is giving you a huge opportunity to do creative work. Retrograde planet in the fifth house is taking you within, awakening your intuition, awakening all the energies within to give birth to something creative. So that's the powerful energy. At the same time, it's giving you blessings of the fourth house because It's not physically going to the fourth house, but it wants to give you results of the fourth house being retrograde. So that means maybe buying a new home. But of course, this is not real estate advice, but this will give expansion in all of your maybe even bigger home to live in, or renovation in your home. This will bring a lot of positive environment in your home. So invite a lot of people at home, invite people to do meditation, to do spiritual discussion, or you just sit and do a lot of tapasya sadhana, spiritual like mantras in your home, in your altar, at your altar. So fourth house will have expansion. That includes your mother also. Your connection with your mother will expand. Fourth house is your sukha sthana. That means you'll feel much more expansion in your heart chakra. So these are the huge blessings of Guru Maharaj related to your fourth house matter. So that's overall a quick discussion, a quick analysis of retrograde Jupiter for 3 months in your fifth house, giving you blessings of the fourth house. But be careful with the results of with the areas of your second house, 11th house, and your fifth house. Jupiter, Guru Maharaj, is going Vakri, retrograde, in the sign of Gemini for over 3 months from December 5th through March 10th. Now, this is for Pisces rising, Pisces Lagna, Pisces ascendant. As you can see in the chart, number 12 sign is Pisces. So if you have this middle box, the first house as Pisces, then you're a Pisces rising. And this is based on sidereal zodiac, not the Western or tropical zodiac. And we're not talking about the sun sign. We're not talking about the moon sign. We're talking about the Lagna, the rising sign, the ascendant. So Jupiter is retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and that is your fourth house. So for Pisces rising, Jupiter is transiting through your fourth house. A retrograde planet wants to give you results of the previous sign or the previous house. So Jupiter physically is transiting through your fourth house, but energetically it wants to give you results of your third house. That is the sign of Taurus. So we'll discuss what that means. So you'll see a lot of blessings, expansion in your third house. At the same time, the fourth house matters may suffer. You may see obstacles, challenges, difficulties, or change and transformation related to your fourth house. And Jupiter is your Lagna Lord also. And Jupiter is your 10th Lord. So those houses may undergo a change, a shift. There will be a pause. There'll be a slowdown. There'll be a recalibration related to the 10th house, the first house, and the fourth house. So these are all the pillars. 3 out of 4 pillars of the chart are undergoing a slowdown or a change, a transformation. There may be obstacles. So let's discuss what those are. First of all, this is a profound phase for you. Your Lagna Lord is going to be retrograde. So literally that means you want to go within. It's telling you to go slow down. First house is you, your personality, yourself, your whole being. Your physical body is the first house. So it's saying reevaluate how you treat your body. Go within and understand who you are. Change your personality, come up with the true self of your being. So that literally means just doing lots of meditation, going to an ashram or going on a retreat, sort of retreat for these 3 months, retreat from the external world and go within. So it doesn't mean that you don't have to live in the external world. You just energetically go within and stay within and do lots of meditation. Be very mindful. This is a period of change. It's like Phoenix rising. You'll be a new person after this transit. Secondly, also take care of your health. Reevaluate how you treat your body, how you take care of yourself. That's going to go a huge transformation. Then the 10th Lord is going retrograde. This period will shift your career. You may actually change your profession. You may actually change the way you work, or your role in the company may change, or simply you may change jobs, or there may be some shift in your career. Of course, you have to see the natal chart also if that supports. Now, but there will be something big that's going to change and shift, or simply you may face some obstacles, some challenges. You may feel like the energy is stuck when it comes to your career. So it's not time for like futuristic planning for the next 10 years. Time to reevaluate, go within and understand what's working, what's not working. Just, hang in there and do your work. And also there may be some miscommunication, misunderstandings at work. So be very careful for those areas. Then Jupiter physically is retrograde in the fourth house. That means you may feel uneasy in your place of residence. That's the fourth house. And also energetically also, it's the Sukha Bhava, Sukha Sthana. So you will feel uneasy in your heart chakra also. So, but Jupiter there means it will force you or push you towards being more spiritual, being more connected with your heart chakra, with yourself. So at home, that's the fourth house. In your place of residence, do lots of meditation, do lots of spiritual work. Invite a priest to do the yagya or sponsor yagyas. And also be careful dealing with your family. There may be challenges, misunderstandings with your family, especially with your mother also. Okay. So, and be careful with your real estate. There may be ups and downs. Of course, this is not real estate advice. This is not financial advice. This is just the energies of the planets. So these houses are undergoing a profound shift. Now, the blessings you will see are all related to the third house. That's a sign of Taurus. So that means it's a great time to learn some skills with your hands. If you're a healer, excellent time. You will blossom. And, you can do Reiki or anything with your hands, or just rubbing your hands, massaging your hands. Then third house is also connected with writing. If you're a writer, great. If you're not, just do journaling every night. Just write down about your day. Activate the third house. Excellent time to go around for short distance travels, meet people, organize some events, networking events, webinars, seminars, or just developing your connections. Really good time for that. Then third house is dealing with your day-to-day challenges. Jupiter there is helping you to deal with your day-to-day challenges through your wisdom. So you'll not be super reactive. You'll not snap at people. You'll not snap or become frustrated with the challenges in your daily life. You'll deal those through wisdom. Third house is also your younger siblings. This period will bring positive energy in your connection, relationship with your younger siblings. And then also third house is your written communication. So that includes your marketing, sales, newsletters, all of that. So those areas will blossom. So, but overall, because Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, so be careful. These 3 months, just treat these as you're going on a retreat. If not physically, at least mentally, do lots of meditation, go within, do sadhana. And you can chant mantras for gurus, especially. You can give donation to the gurus. You can study scriptures. You can join some courses. Those are going to be very, very beneficial for Pisces rising, Pisces Lagna.